apparently the umpire or the guy on the course had his hand on the throttle, and as he was coming out to the boat, opened the throttle and smashed into the boat.
And that didn't help either.
No.
No, I guess it's difficult, isn't it, to stay calm in these situations, but luckily no one's been injured by the look of it.
So here's the start list for the first quarter-final. The men's double sculls, 2 blades in each athlete. Artanian Chidosa from Romania, Visosi Shechikov and Kornusov from Moldova, the surprise of last year's World Championship. Robbie Manson back with Ben Mason from the New Zealanders. Lithuania, Gelesankis and Stankunas in lane 4. The Polish, Brad Domanski and Piotr Plominski in lane 5. And on this near side, Emil Nekov and Lazar Penev from Bulgaria, closest to us in the yellow boat.
Yeah, and as you say, we will see the whole of this one. And when you look at it on the start like that, it does look like all the crews are in quite an exposed position, and I'm sure the breeze is pretty even across all of them.
Yeah, I just wonder what it plays on in terms of the minds, you know, because crews in 4, 5 and 6 obviously want to qualify. I mean, you know, New Zealand and Lithuania will have, you know, got those places from their result in the heats. But, you know, cruising 5 and 6, they'll want to qualify for the last 12. And
I can't help feeling a little bit robbed, really.
Well, they might think, you know...
We've had such good races in quarterfinals in previous years, with all sorts of surprises going on. And as it is, yeah, it's just going to be pretty difficult from over here on these lanes 5 and 6.
Romania beat Germany in the heat of the men's double sculls, and the Moldovans finished second behind Twiller and Broidink, the Dutch double, in their heat, which got them lane 2. The Kiwis finished second behind the Sinkovic brothers, and they got them lane 3. And Lithuania, well, they got out in lane 4, finished third in their heat behind China and Italy. A great race between China and Italy. We're off.
Yeah, great for the Romanians and Moldovans, I'm sure, to get themselves into this position. Of course, it's 3 to qualify from this quarter-final. Let's see what the Lithuanians can do from over here. Let's see what the Polish can do from over here.
Moldovans a little slow off, and you know, they really did surprise the world when they had that fantastic result to get into the final of last year's World Championships in WRCH. Finished 5th. Slightly lower on the rating, lowest of the rating of all the crews, Greg.
Yeah, quite interesting to see that they've settled into something that I'm sure it's going to be long and connected, but you just can't really afford to let the race get away from you. Although, you know, it's a headwind, it's going to be a longer race, so maybe just to be in and connected is a good idea, as opposed to the Polish, who you can see highest rating still out through 40 strokes a minute, coming out through the minute.
Well, Piotr Plominski in the stroke seat did so well to take the under-23 single, and Konrad Domanski took second place in the under-23 men's double just a few weeks ago in Plovdiv. So the two men from Warsaw, they're coached by WRCH, and do you remember what Chris Korzanowski was saying to us yesterday about WRCH? He kind of said he's one of the best sculling coaches in the world.
Yeah, no, he really rated him, didn't he? And you can see just how well this Polish pair are sculling. And you know, from the win point of view, fantastic to see them leading it out here through 500. As you say, Peter Plominski in the stroke seat, experienced in the single, and getting nicely out and away here.
It's a close field. It's just one double off the back at the moment, and that's the crew.
Yes, the Bulgarians have really dropped off it here. Interesting, the Moldovans, we saw them low in the rate early on. They've settled to a 35, where everyone else at 38, but it's not doing them any harm. You can almost see they're just giving the boat at the top of the screen there good distance per stroke, as opposed to New Zealanders behind them. Unsurprising, we expect to see Robbie Manson rating pretty high. He's in the bow seat. I'm sure he'll be pushing Ben Mason along.
Yeah. So beautiful style. Puts you in mind of the Polish quad. I mean, the Polish sculling has a great uniformity of form. Of course, the Polish quad world champions.
Yeah, world champion quads, and there with this double, I'm sure they must all train together, and as you say, very well coached, moving very well together. Be great for the event almost if they can hang in there from lane 5, getting up here, still there through halfway. Unsurprising to see the sort of New Zealand crew. They made it to the final in Lucerne, and we probably had higher expectations of them, I remember, in Lucerne. But as it is, they're looking to just kind of have this big, solid middle 1,000.
Yeah, they won't be concerned about that Lucerne result. They'll see it as part of their staging post on the way. Robbie Manson, the 33-year-old, the veteran of the London Olympics, the world record holder in the men's single sculls, rowing with the 21-year-old Ben Mason. Went to Otago's boys' school, the Avon clubman, and it's a real hero in New Zealand rowing, Robbie Manson, and Ben Mason rowing with him. The Romanians just pushing back in the middle of that race. They kind of think, right, we're in the favoured lane, Artani and Chidosa. And of course, Cyprian Chidosa, silver medalist in the men's pair in the Tokyo Olympics. So he swapped one blade for 2. He's now in the double. Won that pairs event with Kosmic.
Well, they had a good win in the heat, didn't they, to earn themselves this lane on the far side, because there's a lot of doubles that we talk about in this competition, but the Romanians, not one of the names that's first to spring to mind, but here they are, winning their heat, and now we're seeing them looking good in this first quarter-final.
Yeah, the Antonio Colomnici, the Romanian chief coach, he has all the Romanian sculling through the autumn, and so they have to learn to single. He says that's the best kind of preparation to move a rowboat.
Yeah, no, and you can see it's good to have those boat skills, but I can't help noticing what's happened here in this big third quarter, that the Moldovan crew have just stayed in their rhythm and quietly made their progress, and the Polish now are really struggling after being the leaders out through 500, leaders through 750, right there at 1,000. I can't help feeling for them in this third quarter where it's just been really hard work.
Yeah, they still look good, the Polish. I mean, maybe lost a little bit of the zip they had in the first 500s, but the Moldovans, as you say, Greg, moved through. Ivan Korsunov, saw him in the single in Zagreb earlier. His partner was injured. They've got back together. They haven't made the final of an event this year, but their form of 2022 looks to be coming back, although Poland are still in contention, I guess.
Yeah, Poland are in contention. There's a little overlap with the Moldovan crew. We're just looking here. They're coming up towards those red boys, towards that big last 250. But the Polish have got an awful lot to do, having led. The Moldovans were lower in the rate the whole way right off the start. You imagine whether their gearing must be pretty tough, and maybe they didn't spot this headwind coming.
Yeah, we saw that with the South African men's 4 that got through in the repechage in the last 250 yesterday. They were lower off the start, and then they had more flexibility in the last quarter. And, you know, Moldova edging back on New Zealand. You can see the gap there, just 9 or 10 metres between them and the Kiwis.
Yeah, the Moldovans have rowed a very mature race, really, haven't they? Tracking their position, being in their own lane. The Romanians looking good there in lane 1, but it is looking like the Moldovans going to be solidly in the qualifying place, probably behind these New Zealanders.
So top 3 through to the semi-finals, and top 11 will qualify for Paris. Romania register an emphatic win ahead of Manson and Mason from New Zealand, and then it's Stoshishechikov and Korsunov from Moldova, the Poles. After that bright start, couldn't quite make it. Lithuania crossed the line in 5th, and Bulgaria, still coming down the course in front of me, will cross the line in 6th place.
Yeah, the Bulgarians just coming down and through the line now. You won't see them cross the line. You'll see the celebrating Romanians. They've done a good job there.
I see they've changed their boat. Oh no, it's the Romanians they're rowing in a Felipe. I just wondered what boat the Moldovans were rowing in, if it was a Windtech. Couldn't quite see.
So that was the first of the
Kiwis in the Felipe.
We're going to get a picture of them now.
I think that's a Windtech.
Yeah, that is interesting to see, isn't it?
Is it another boat?
That's a Windtech.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, it says Windtech on the side just there, I think. Good,
yeah.
Very good spot from you, Martin Cross.
Thank you. Well, confirmation that Romania, New Zealand and Moldova will move through to the semi-finals.